Yeah,
Yeah. We're now open.
okay. Meeting is started. Okay, and I have the minutes that I handed out to everyone from our last meeting. And if you guys want any edits made, or if you guys want to approve those. From August 5th.
Yeah.
I read the minutes and I would move to approve them as written. I don't have any.
Okay.
Any second?
Thank you for having them in a timely fashion.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, and something that we had discussed at the last meeting was the gravestone clean. Is that something that you guys are interested in doing? Is that something that you guys have done in the winter time, or is that where more of a spring kind of cleanup?
Yeah, I think there were a couple of times we did it in the spring, late April, it seems to me.
Yeah. Okay.
And then always usually, I think the last time would be in September,
Oh, okay.
middle to late September.
So do we want to go with that late April date and kind of get everything ready to go, see which ones we've done? Where we're at,
I think it's better you're coming out of winter. It's a good time to clean them up, April or May.
yeah. Okay,
The last few times was September or so.
yeah. Okay,
And I think we've got probably all the supplies left over from the last time.
there should be some over in Public Works, but I'll double check to see what we got. Cause I
Okay.
know that we did order some of that, but I don't know if it all got used or what. So,
Yeah, we were kind of working our way over at Zion.
yeah. And I know
Starting out
that
at the
Judy
highway.
at her last one, she was saying that most of them were clean, so I don't know.
I
I'll have
think
to
they-
double check with her and see where we were with that and what still needs to
Okay.
be cleaned or not.
I think they cleaned up to 7 or 8.
Okay. Okay. I'll double check with,
Zion
yeah.
over, Zion, there's some not good ones, cause
Is there still? Okay.
Garrett worked there this summer and he said some were pretty bad, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, especially in the old part of the,
Maybe Carol might be good.
What's the one off Knightsbridge, Baker
Baker Prairie?
Prairie? That's been cleaned pretty good,
Okay.
but I
we
think, yeah,
worked on
Zion
that
needs some work.
3 or 4 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, Zion needs some work though.
Yeah, Zion certainly needs it, yeah.
When that happens, do you get volunteers to help?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
there's people that
Yeah.
come from the community that'll,
Yeah, we'll put out a blast on our social
Mhm.
media and you guys help spread the word.
Yeah.
The people you know, and then just as many volunteers as we could get to kind of help with that.
Is there a date set for that?
I'm gonna come back for our next meeting and give a couple different options for you guys. Unless you guys have a date in April that you would like to confirm now.
boy, I can't think of any.
I think you better look.
Yeah. I'll look at the calendar.
Weather-wise, cause if it's raining, you're not
April or May?
getting, nobody's showing up.
Right.
So you're probably gonna have to go on a week-to-week basis and maybe project for the end of April, but a week out, say, let's go to the next weekend.
Right.
Or the weekend before.
And did you guys do it on a Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay. Saturday.
You said April or May?
April, May, kind of depending on weather, what that looks like and.
Yeah.
New member recruitment is just that we have some interest in more, we have a couple people interested in joining, so we're hoping that they will get signed on before our next meeting and add to the group, so I think that'll be really good. And then just a continuing reminder for people that you guys know to help spread the word.
How many members should we have?
I wanna say we could get up to 9. I don't think we've ever had 9 though.
7's
Not
plenty.
that I know of.
So 7 is our goal. And 7 with, I think in the past, it was before my time that there was a high school student.
Yes, there was.
So 7 with a high school student would be
I
ideal.
think, I think that's
Yeah.
about right, yeah.
So maybe that's where my 9 number is coming from is 7 with the high school student. So,
How many do we have now?
we have 4 currently and 2 that are interested, so. Potentially
Okay,
could use 1 more plus a high school student.
mhm.
And then, is that good for new member recruitment? One thing that I wanted to, provide information for, is just to update you guys with the 182 North Holly Street, so the historic city hall. They have, put in an application, for updating the basement and doing some minor, remodel. With that, it's looking like they are going to update the windows. They're not, you really have to be over the steel grates to see them. They're not visible from like the naked eye from the road or anything like that. They were aluminum windows and they're going to go with, wood windows. So it's gonna actually help with that historic, integrity.
Okay,
So they're going a little bit above and beyond what is actually necessary. This doesn't, because this is just a minor repair,
mhm.
it doesn't designate it for the HLC to review it.
Okay.
But it's just a staff approval on this. However, I just thought it would be good to kind of update you guys with what's
Okay,
going
yeah.
on.
Mhm.
As you guys are in town, you guys may see some updates on that building.
Yeah.
And just so you guys are aware of what's going on. And
Okay.
then hopefully as that project is complete, we could have photos and kind of share with you what they've done. So that's just
Okay.
kind of what's going on there, and I just wanted to provide that update with you guys. So you guys knew if somebody asked you being on the
Yeah,
HLC,
somebody
what was
asked.
going on at that building,
Yeah,
so.
what's happening?
I wanted to provide that. Was there anything else that you guys wanted to add for the good to the order?
Well, I was wondering what IGA boundaries on this means? Said IGA boundary?
You mean urban growth boundaries?
Oh, that's UGA. This is IGA.
What's IGA? Industrial? What would IGA be?
IGA.
That's mental government. So,
Yeah,
Well, it's more than just the
IGA.
city of Canby, and this is for the transit. Is there a district for the transit?
It would be Canby Area Transit, so
Yeah.
there's no I in there.
No, but they might have an IGA with the county for areas outside the city
I
limits.
see.
where'd you get this, Ron?
I got this.
Oh, it's from Cat. Yeah, it's
Oh.
Cat. It's Cat's new. Yeah.
In the library downstairs is also the Canby Adult Center.
Yep.
Mhm.
Cat just had a thing. They came to council. They're updating their routes and their boundaries. So that's probably it.
okay,
So they're gonna go a little further to the south, a little further to the north. They go to Woodburn now, but they stop at Bimart. Now they're gonna go to Walmart, which is another 3-4 miles.
Mhm.
And in Canby, they're gonna try and instead of just go this way, they're gonna have them both go
Oh, okay,
counterclockwise and clockwise for
Look at
pickup.
Walmart.
Woodburn.
Woodburn.
They go to Bimart now. They're just expanding where they go.
Okay.
They used to go to Bimart and Woodburn. Now they're gonna go to Bimart and Walmart.
okay. Same trip,
Same trip.
okay.
And I was wondering what. I haven't heard anything about the oil survey about from April 24. What's going on with that?
Well, we have that information now that's completed. Now that's something that the HLC could use to further, we could go on with an ILS, which is an intensive level survey. So if there's anything that is interest of those, where it's like, I think they even designated some of those properties with historic value, and so we could do an intensive level and further that survey. We could, you know, seek other options with that, but it's kind of up to HLC of what we want to do with that information and kind of.
Is that the updated one? Didn't we get one in June that was a finalization?
There might have
Cause
been,
I think June, late June, did you get one in late June when it finally became?
I have a copy, yeah, I think it was,
But I think, Ron, I think that's an early one. There should be a late one that you can get.
yeah,
Should be a June where they finished, because remember where they were gonna finish in June?
So where would I get a copy of that?
I could send you a copy.
Tyler can get you
Yeah.
one, yeah.
Mhm.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I think my one at home says
June.
June, yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
that
I'll
was
have
the
to check
final.
mine.
Cause they brought that to the council.
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't got my notes at home. There's all kinds of designations at EC and EA and.
I think the EC is like extra contributing or something.
Can I see that real quick, Ron? Let me see. I think the new one. Gave you the abbreviations of stuff. On a
Yeah,
sheet.
there was the
Glossary, yeah.
abbreviations for sure.
Here we go, 4.
Mhm.
There you go, right there. Right there they are. There's all your stuff. So you said EC something?
Yeah, was it EC
Yeah.
and EA?
So evaluation codes,
Yeah,
eligible and significant is ES. So it says it out kind of on the bottom. Eligible and contributing, eligible is that. So at the very bottom.
you know, it's,
Yeah. Was that all your questions or was there anything else?
well, I can't remember.
Okay,
Mhm.
well, if anything comes up, let me know.
I sent you some questions.
I did get one question about the 103 Southwest First Avenue. I believe that's Ace Glass. Is that the one that you were
Yeah.
wondering about? So that one has historic value, but it's not, they haven't gone through the process of designating it as a historic property, so therefore the HLC doesn't have they wouldn't have any way of allowing something or not allowing something. There's no process that would go through the HLC because they're not designated as that
Okay.
historic property.
So what is designated that we can do?
So there's the Historic City Hall, which has gone through that designation process. I believe the William Knight House that he had mentioned. And
Yeah, we went through that 2 or 3 or 4 years ago.
yeah. And then I think
Yeah.
there's the Canby Pioneer Chapel,
Mhm.
The Bear House.
the Bear House.
Mhm.
So there's just a handful that have gone through that process.
Now, what kind of process is that?
Well, it's going through HLC and then also going through city council to actually make it official. They just did that with. And the Canby Historical Society, I think is, or
The
the
depot.
depot.
Yeah.
Is on there. They just went through that and you have to go through like 2 hearings. To designate it. And then it's like official.
Designated as what?
Historical.
Yeah,
So then they can only do certain things to it. Everything, if they update it, it has to be era correct.
and it would have to go through approval process through the HLC. So then the HLC would be notified and they would go through an approval process through the HLC.
When they started with the depot designation, they said, well, it's not in its original spot and it's not parallel to the railroad. Where the hell were you guys 4 years ago when the railroad said, you can have it, but you gotta move it?
Yeah.
And that was the only place we could find it, and that was the only way we could twist it.
Yeah.
Oh. Hmm.
Are we still on that item?
Yeah,
Yeah, I was wondering if it makes sense to have the commission do a work program for next year.
A what
Work,
program?
work program. And maybe staff has a list of things that have been discussed in the past but not completed, or things you'd like to do, and maybe the commission can bring some ideas forward as we just heard, and then there's some new members that are potentially in the wings. Make sure we get their input and we could prioritize. Some of these items might be real simple, like scheduling the cemetery cleanup, but others might be more involved, and we want to make sure the staff is able to address those if we're putting too much work on
Yeah.
Tyler. We don't want him working here, weekends.
Yeah.
But I think it would help us get organized a little more if we could focus on some priorities
Yeah.
and by the end of the year, maybe we get some things accomplished and write a report to the council, and I can see
Figure out what we're gonna
we've
do.
earned our pay for the year.
Yeah.
that's, and another thing that we have done is, certified local government grants, and we qualify for those, so those will be coming up at the beginning of the year, so that'll be good to see if that's something we want to apply for and use towards what, and I could get a list of kind of what we've done in the past and used it for. An intensive level survey is something that we could potentially use it for too, so we could move forward with that ROS and move on with that. So I could bring a list of what we've done with the CLG grants in the past. If that would be helpful for you guys.
That would be helpful. One of the things that occurs to me is there's a lot of history here that nobody knows about. And it might be good for us to find the people that know a little bit about it,
Yeah.
to take advantage of them a little more. And secondly, we have a whole generation at the high school that if, people are moving here that have no clue of the history,
Yeah.
and involving some of those high school kids, I think is always a good thing. They're good labor at the
Yep.
cemetery cleaning too.
Yeah.
The main thing is you have to get aboard.
Mhm.
I mean, look how many meetings we've came. We don't have enough people. There's another month lost. There's another month. When that reconnaissance thing came out, we should have had a meeting where we all went through it page by page. So everybody knew we were all on the same page.
Yeah.
We don't do that. And now, this is my last meeting, because you're gonna have a new council liaison. So here you are starting all over, and I'm one of the few people that know 90% of Canby. But the problem is that next generation, once you get past my group, and I'm 60 plus now, there's none of my friends that are 40, 50 that care. So that's the hard part. We have to keep finding, Carol Palmer's not gonna be here for February. Peggy Sigler, myself, John Zig, Jim Mickelson. I mean, we've lived here most of our lives and, you know,
Mhm.
the Lego store used to be, you know, people don't know. What was it?
I
Even
remember,
some of the
I
old
remember,
people.
I remember what was there
What
before
was
it
the name of it? You're one of the few
That was actually, that was the Blockbuster.
Buchanan
time.
Cellars.
Yeah.
See,
It was
there
built
you
like,
go.
it was built, it was built in the form of Buchanan
Yes.
Cellars. Buchanan Cellars was actually back that way.
Yeah, you
And
know-
yeah, the Canby Pioneer Chapel. My mother-in-law was baptized there when it was a Methodist church.
yeah.
That was 1928.
You know, and I kind of think it's neat.
Mhm.
There's some stuff that you know, I don't think it's so neat, like the Ace building. That thing, it's for sale. Whoever buys it, if they're smart, is gonna tear it down and work with 99E to let trucks turn better and get that off the corner. So who knows what's gonna happen there? So,
And that was D&W Ford.
yeah, and Maskey's before that.
Actually, I remember, yeah, I was,
I bought my first
Eversole,
car
it was
when that was a
Eversole
Ford
Motors.
in that corner.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I remember it had the Comet sign on the post.
And Les Schwab used to be a Chevy dealership, so we had a Ford and a
Chevrolet.
Chevy dealership.
I
So,
remember they had a, was it a 57? I think it was. Had a 57 Chevrolet, and on the dash, it had a prism, which would allow you, if you could not see the traffic lights, you could see them through that prism.
but that's the key.
Yeah.
We need a board. We need 5. Nothing against Adrian, but she hardly ever comes anymore. And if she does, it's late. Well, that doesn't help. So you need, if you need 7, you need at least 5 or 6 to show up every meeting. I mean, and you don't have that many meetings a year. What do you got? Every other month? So that's 6 meetings.
Yeah.
It's all about communication, isn't it, Ron?
Mhm.
It's all about communication.
Yeah.
Well, I can get that ready to go for our next meeting. And then I think that would be good to start out the year planning and hopefully we'll have more people on the board and I think that'd be good.
And now we got a third tire dealership too.
Yeah.
When I moved here, there
That's
was
not
only
his
2.
story.
There was
I'm not counting
Wagner's,
it.
Wagner's where Auto-Rite is now. And then Millar's was actually on the other side of, was next to Napa.
If you ask a group of kids from, okay, my son's 24, Emily's 26. If you go from and ask any 20-year-old to 30-year-old, 10 years, what they miss most in Canby, you know what it is?
Hmm.
The bowling alley.
Yeah,
Number 1, they still
Yeah.
bring it. You had birthday parties there, you had bowling leagues, you had Pappy's Greasy Spoon was there before he was downtown.
yeah.
Where was the bowling alley?
Where
Where-
O'Reilly's is now.
Yeah.
Yep,
Back
number
when-
1, yeah, you ask them, it's a bowling alley,
Yeah,
still to this day.
back my youngest brother took bowling as PE at Oregon State. My other brother took pool as PE from Oregon State. I don't know, I didn't get into that.
Is it Patrick or is that how I say your name?
Almost. It is Patrice.
It is Patrice. Okay, I had that right. Okay. I just wanted to, we had talked before the recording started. Did you want to, could you just ask your question into the recording? I mean, now that it's recording,
Oh, I can share my screen too, right? You're gonna see it if I share my screen?
I don't know.
If I
You can
do,
try it, yeah.
if I do this,
That was
do you
weird.
see?
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
There we go, that's the night house.
Yeah, that's the house I'm talking about. So it looks like someone tried to remodel this house maybe 4 years ago, and then everything stopped.
Okay.
Is there a reason for that?
It-
or-
it does that about every 2 years. They do a lot of work and then they quit for a couple of years. Then they go back and try and clean it up and then nothing. So I don't know if they're out of money or what. I know that's to remodel it the way it's supposed to be, you know, historic stuff's pretty tight
Mhm, mhm.
and pretty correct. So that's all I know on it.
And this used to be a residential house at the beginning, and then it became an apartment, right? 5-unit apartment. Is that correct?
I think that was in the 1950s when it became apartments.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think so.
Okay, okay. And yeah, I found this document online. This is in the public records. I also found the National Register, right, of Historic Places, where the house is listed.
Yeah.
Are there a lot of constraints to buy and remodel a building like that, or who manages? I mean, who it's under which jurisdiction, which
Well, like-
administration? Yeah. Is
Like
it
you said,
the
it goes, it tends to stop, because there is a lot of process that it has to go through. Because it is a nationally registered, it's on the National Register, so there is a lot of, it would have to go through like this committee before it was remodeled, planning.
and
For the
Clackamas
approval
County?
process, and Clackamas County.
Patrice,
Okay.
have you found the owners who own the property?
I found, yes, the name of the company, yes, who owns.
I would call them and if you're interested, call them, and the way it's been going, maybe they're ready to sell.
But okay, but I mean, you, for instance, as a team, are you opposed to this project or not necessarily?
I would love to see it cleaned up and brought back to great condition.
Okay, all right, yeah, it's good to know. Yeah, I will try to contact, yeah, the owner for sure. I think, yeah, that's yeah, thank you. That's what I wanted to gauge today and see what's your history and knowledge is about this one. If you don't mind, can I still get your phone number? Let's see, let me stop sharing my screen. Chook. All right, can you
Yeah,
see me again?
I can give
And
you
I forgot to,
my,
yeah, your name. I didn't catch your name earlier.
yeah, my name is Tyler. I'm the staff liaison for the HLC. So I work for the city of Canby.
Oh,
And,
Tyler Nizer. Yeah,
yes,
staff
yep,
liaison. Yeah, because
yep.
I see the meeting agenda here. I
Yeah.
look online. Okay.
And
So
my
you're
work,
Tyler. Mhm, okay.
yeah, and I could get you 503.
Okay. Give me a second here. Okay, 503
319
319. Okay.
9229.
9229.
And that's my
Okay.
work cell, so you could get in touch with me through that, so. And I have your phone number, so I will follow up with any information we have on our end, and I can give you a call and let you know.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. I'll look up the owner and see if I can get a hold of them, see what's going on. Yeah. Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too.
That was 3 or 4 years ago when that came before us. The contractors didn't know of a single house that was designated the way the William Knight House. They'd worked in districts in Portland, but we're surprised to find out you can have a single house that's.
We don't have historic districts.
Yeah, yeah, we had a historic house and
Yeah.
they didn't realize that they had never run across that. And all of a sudden they got stuff going on there and,
Yeah.
oh, well.
Is there anything else for the good to the order?
When is the lighting ceremony at Wade Park?
December 6th.
December 6th, okay,
Yeah,
that's Friday then.
yep,
Okay,
first Friday in
yep. Want to make sure we're ready.
okay. You good?
Okay.
Okay. Let me